Hey, what's up everybody? Game Dad here, coming at you guys with a brand new pickups video. This time I'll be showcasing everything that I picked up during the month of September. So come with me as we check out all the new things that have been added to the collection.
Alright, so up first we have the Addams Family for the Game Gear. So recently what I did is I actually went to the local game store, Gamers in Control, and he had a bunch of new Game Gear games, so I bolstered up my Game Gear collection a bit more. So we got Addams Family on Game Gear. Now next up, we actually have a Speedy Gonzales game, and this is Cheese Catastrophe, starring Speedy Gonzales. Kind of hard to see the cover art on Game Gear games sometimes. Up next, I actually have this on, I believe, the Genesis, and that is Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Pretty sure I have it on another console anyways. Alright, so this one, from what I remember, is kind of like a pinball-esque, like Dr. Mario kind of game. So we will find out when I capture the game footage for it. Up next we have G-Lock Air Battle. I know absolutely nothing about this game. From the cover it looks like it's going to be some sort of air simulator fighter pilot kind of game. So we will check that out. Next up, and I have this on some other consoles, we have US Gold presents Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Okay, now I could have sworn this game was actually called Last Crusader, but it just says Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So there we go, and you can see that game footage going for you. Next up, we have a classic. We got Simpsons action going on with Krusty's Funhouse. Again, another game never really played as a kid because I did not have a Game Gear as a kid. But I like the Simpsons games on the NES, so I'm sure this one is going to be fun as well. Now we have a classic. I have many copies of this on many different consoles, and that is Namco's Pac-Man. So not really much to say about that other than, you know, it's Pac-Man. And I actually thought that I had all of the different copies of this game for the various consoles, but apparently I didn't. This is another US Gold game, and it is Road Rash for the Game Gear. And actually, in going through and double checking to see if I had all the Road Rash games, I discovered I actually don't have Road Rash 64 either. So with PRGE coming up, I think I'm going to add that to my list of games to get, because I have Road Rash on many different consoles, and I thought I had a complete collection. So here's one more to add to what I've got. Now this is kind of fitting that I picked this one up. So this is Spider-Man on the Game Gear, and I have actually been streaming my playthrough of Spider-Man on the PS4, and that game is amazing. So we will see how good the Game Gear version of Spider-Man is. Up next we have Star Wars on the Game Gear. I actually didn't know that they had a Star Wars game for Game Gear, so kind of excited to play this. I'm not sure if this will be more along the lines of the NES version of Star Wars, or more along the lines of the Super Nintendo version, or who knows, it could be its own completely different version. So I'm excited to play this one. Next up, I actually have Taz 1 and 2 for, I believe it's the Game Boy, either Game Boy or Game Boy Color, and now I have a Taz game on Game Gear. So this is Taz in Escape from Mars, and you got Marvin the Martian there on the cover as well. Kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can focus in on that. There you go. You got Marvin the Martian down there, and then you got Taz. And this is Taz Escape from Mars. Alright, moving on. Recently I was sent a couple of different games from John Riggs. Make sure you guys go check out his channel because he does awesome videos and does a lot of great homebrew stuff, which is actually the next game that's coming up. So this one is one that I did not have in the collection, and that is RoboCop on the NES. Now, I have never even seen gameplay footage of this before, so this is going to be a fun one to grab some footage for. So excited to play that one. Now, speaking of home brews, I don't know how many of you have heard of the Pink Gorilla store in I believe it's in Seattle in Washington, but one of the co-owners of that store, Kelsey Lewin, she apparently the story behind how this game was made is because she's actually much shorter than Jason, Metal Jesus, so when they do videos, I guess she has to stand on a box. So the Metal Jesus crew kind of ran with that, and John Riggs actually made a homebrew called Kelbert. So with her constantly having to stand on the boxes, thought it would be appropriate to make Kelbert. So it's Qbert, but with Kelsey and with, I don't know if they're like engaged or if it's already her husband, boyfriend, but the other co-owner of Pink Gorilla. And I am actually spacing on his name right now, but they added in a bunch of different things that are iconic to Kelsey, and and John made Kelbert. So it's Qbert with different characters in there, and fun little homebrew hack right there. So I'm excited to play that one. Moving on, in that same trip that I got all those Game Gear games, I picked up some N64 games that I didn't have in the collection yet. So right here, I'm sure this is a super blockbuster title. This is International Track and Field 2000. So, you know, I'm sure this was one of the greatest games ever made. Probably not. But we're going to play it, we're going to check it out, and see how it goes. Up next, this one I actually have heard is a pretty good game, and I believe, yeah, I have NBA Jam 2000 on, I think it's NBA Jam 2000 on the N64. Love that series, and actually I heard that NBA Hang Time is actually a pretty good game, so I'm happy to add this one to the collection, and this will be a fun one to play. Love multiplayer on the N64. Alright, now I am not a big racing game fan, but I am getting closer and closer to completing my N64 collection, with the exception of stupid Sculptor's Cut, because I don't want to pay that much for a game. But here is Rally Challenge 2000. So this is a rally car racing game, and you'll be able to see that in the footage. Now, I'm pretty sure this one is actually related to the series. It's I think they have a new host or something now because the old host left the show and did their own show. But I didn't know they actually made games for this. This is Top Gear Overdrive. So we'll focus in on that a little bit so you can see it. There you go. So again, not a huge fan of racing games, but it was one that I didn't have in the collection, and the N64 library overall does have a lot of these kind of games in it, either sports titles or racing titles. That's kind of what the console was known for. So I'm sure I'm going to get a few of these on my way to completing that library. Alright, next up are two games that I am streaming right now. One, I'm sure nobody has heard of it at all. You know, nobody has ever seen any gameplay footage of this game. Of course, I'm kidding. This is Marvel's Spider-Man on the PS4, and I gotta say, I've played a lot of Spider-Man games. This is by far my absolute favorite Spider-Man game. This game is amazing. The swinging mechanics, the voice acting, everything. I mean, I don't do a lot of game reviews, but pretty sure I'm going to be doing a review of this game because it is just a ton of fun, and I've been having a blast playing through it, so make sure you check out my streams. I've been going through trying to 100% the game. Up next is another game that I'm streaming. I just recently completed part 3 of my playthrough, and that is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Now, I played the original 2 on Xbox, so I decided to get the final one in the trilogy on Xbox as well. And I didn't go for the crazy edition with, you know, the statues or anything like that, but I did get the Steelbook edition. So it's kind of nice. It's got a just generic paper sleeve on it, nothing special, but I do like the Steelbook. It's got this like embossed design on it, so it's really nice metal look to it. Open it up, there's nothing crazy. Feel free to take a look at that code if you want. I don't care about product registration. Then you have your little inserts and stuff like that. But one thing that was actually really cool that came with this is it came with some art cards that are actually for all 3 of the games. So we'll go ahead and open this up really quick. So right here you can see the original Tomb Raider game, and that one, I believe they just called it just Tomb Raider. And this was when they relaunched the series. That was a really good game. And then here we have Rise of the Tomb Raider, and so far what I've played of Shadow, it seems like a good game, but I think Rise of the Tomb Raider has got to be my absolute favorite in this trilogy. This game was amazing. I went through, I couldn't help myself. I had to beat everything that was in this game. And then we have an art card for the new one, for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And it remains to be seen if I will actually want to 100% complete this game. I kind of went in with the mindset that I was going to, but so far I'm kind of, I don't know. Definitely I'll beat the game. I don't know if I will 100% it though. So we'll go ahead and set all of these out of the way, because I have one more pickup that I did this month, and it's a big one. And if you saw my video from, I believe it was this past Friday, you would have seen my unboxing of it, and that is my new Xbox One X. So I was really excited to be able to pick this up. On Pro Day, at GameStop, I was able to go trade in my original Xbox, or not original Xbox, my launch edition of the Xbox One. So just the 500 gig, the base console, all of that. I was able to go trade that in, get some extra credit on Pro Day. I traded in some of my reward points since I spent a stupid amount of money there, and I was able to get my 1 terabyte Xbox One X for quite a steal. So yeah, if you want to check out that unboxing video, go ahead and check out that card above. And I think that will take care of everything that I got in this pickups video.
So there you have it, everybody. That is all the new stuff that I have added to the collection from this past month. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons down below, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you get an update anytime I got a new video coming out. Now, as always, I'm Game Dad, and I thank you guys for watching. Catch you later.